And it's Shannon Francois to start us for the Silver Ferns. To Rasmussen, straight into Ekenasio.
Well, Rasmussen really flirting with the offside rule on the centre pass then in the air as the whistle went. Sometimes that's nerves. Players really keen to get going.
For the opener for the visitors. Ekenasio, 32 from 37 and 86% when they played last month in the quad series.
Contact goalkeeper.
And this is a shooting combination we're not really familiar with, the Twin Towers.
Caitlin Bassett nails her first goal of the game. They are Twin Towers, Kel, but despite the fact that Gretel Tippett is tall, she's incredibly mobile, and we'll see a lot of that movement. Interesting to see how Caitlin Bassett fares with Tippett out in front of her. She's used to having Nat Medhurst doing so much work, cutting across the top of the circle and opening up space. Really want to see Gretel Tippett do much the same. That is how space gets open and the ball's going really nicely to Bassett. Totally different style down this end of the court. A lot more movement from Mez and Ekenasio. Terrific athletic matchup there between Francois and Simpson. Both superbly built.
Offside, wing attack.
So the offside call there against Rasmussen.
Seven, we go defend. Advantage contact, wing attack. Contact, go defend.
Katrina Grant so close, she read it.
Contact keeper.
The ball went across the circle a little bit lower than she thought.
Goalkeeper, both players.
So
both players.
both Silver Ferns defensive players out. I'd like to see Tippett go to the post on those ones.
Simpson again. She's doing it in the air and at ground level.
Well, Gabby Simpson talked pre-match about having to grind the game out, but she's too good to call her a grinder. Has a real sense of where the ball's going to go and the ability to get to it.
And Gretel Tippett, in just her 7th game for Australia, lands her first goal of the afternoon. That will settle some nerves, but Bassett is absolutely dominating under the post.
That's a much better feed though. Beautiful space. Well delivered ball.
Vantage break.
Footwork call against Maddie Robinson.
And a chance now, Liz, to get it back to just a 4-goal margin. Which, if they can take something like that into quarter time, would be a real win when you consider they rattled off 9 straight, the Aussies.
Yep. Given they had an 8-goal deficit, if they're able to peg that back to a 4-goal deficit, they will build. Oh, huge opportunity gone missing. You know, we often talk about opportunities in the last quarter, but they happen all the way through the game, and you've got to take them at signature moments. And for mine, that was a signature moment.
Jane Watson putting her body on the line.
Yes.
And it leaves her opponent all by herself under the post. Caitlin Bassett in her 63rd appearance for Australia. 14 goals from 14 attempts and 14 minutes of netball.
Goal attack. Yep. Goalkeeper with her. Goalkeeper to the side and away. Vantage contact. Goal defence. Goalkeeper tidy.
Big moment again for the Silver Ferns. 27 seconds is a long time to get the ball down court. The Diamonds going all out in defence, and Robinson. Oh, that's a tough one. Do you deliver it quickly?
Have they still got time to score here before quarter time?
Yeah, now they need to look long and look long fast.
One out, Leighton in front. Leighton pulls it in.
Beautiful work, Shani Leighton. She was up against it. Bailey Mez, terrific in the air, but Leighton was better.
And listen to this crowd. Don't they love Leighton? She is without doubt the crowd favourite. Quarter time here at KYTO Bank Arena in Sydney. And it's the Aussie Diamonds taking a 5-goal lead into the first break. They lead it 16-11.
Obstruction, go shooter.
So Australia quick out the blocks. They did lead 9-1 in the early stages of that opening quarter. Margin was 5 at quarter time. Early stages of this second quarter, a chance to get it back to 3. And the Kiwis are back in the game.
And it's their centre pass. That was a good little switch up then between Grant and Watson. Just put some doubt into Maddie Robinson's mind on the delivery of the ball into Bassett. So the Silver Ferns just starting to win possession back. But the real key for them has been this transition. We saw Janine Southby as Mez takes a beautiful ball. She needs to shoot that. Saw Southby at quarter time really spend some time with that mid-court. Oh, Rasmussen threads the needle. She really wants that transition to be a bit quicker. Beautiful delivery then from Langman, and what a take from Mez. Deserves to be finished. That is terrific vision from Langman and the conviction to pass it.
What a take. You just never know what you're going to get with Bailey Mez, do you? Some of that aerial work is spectacular. Let's go back down on the sidelines. Bianca Chatfield.
With feeds like that from Laura Langman, you wonder if Janine Southby might contemplate putting her back in the centre. She's the one that finds Bailey Mez under the post all the time. I think it's an option she could be considering.
Smart play then from Kim Ravalli and went cross-court to Maddie Robinson. Always dangerous to go cross-court against the Silver Ferns, but the pass was flat and hard, and it just opened up the court. Sometimes defensively they want to push you into one little part of the court, and that cross-court pass just opens it up. So clearly Gretel Tippett doing a good job at training. And when the coach makes selections like that, everyone is on tenterhooks. Big win there from Leighton.
And don't forget, Gretel Tippett didn't play in the quad series. So straight into the team and straight into the starting 7.
Oh, Francois.
She keep it in, she does.
She does.
That was a very clever little flick back at speed.
Contact, go shooter.
See how high the one-on-one defence from the Australians is pushing this Silver Ferns front line up. Rasmussen right up on that transverse line. And that means you get your goal shooter way out of the circle. So just the pressure valve off with the obstruction call. But good defensive play from the Australians.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
Bailey Mez really starting to come into the contest in this second quarter. Just the 4 goals in the first.
Oh, that's really inexperienced umpiring there, and you want him to call play on. Ferns had the ball under the post, but never mind, it makes no difference.
The Diamonds, Liz, they have not missed in nearly a half of netball.
Zip it. Don't jinx them, girl.
No.
It's pretty good from both teams. The Diamonds haven't missed. Bailey Mez, 9 from 11. Efanasio, 12 from 14. And another big win. And great transition from the Diamonds, so fast. And you have to do that against the Silver Ferns. They set up a good, strong zone through that mid-court. And if you can transition quickly, you really do get past that mess.
Well, there's been some momentum swings, and the momentum is well and truly with the home side at the moment.
There's that mid-court zone and the beautiful pass to get across it. And Caitlin Bassett, clever pass from Revallion, put the ball out of everyone's reach except for Bassett's. And the Diamonds are hungry for one more. But a breaking call against Maddie Robinson will put an end to that.
Advantage obstruction.
Leighton with the rebound. And it will be Australia's ball, and that is it for halftime. The fans finding their voice. Around 16,000 of them here in Sydney. And they've just witnessed a very clinical, methodical opening half of elite netball by the Aussie Diamonds. They take a 10-goal lead into the main break, 32-22. Second half underway, and the Silver Ferns have got plenty of work ahead of them.
Exciting moment for Branley. In goal defence, left the Swifts several years ago, joined the Fever in order to get more court time, and it really did lead to a blossoming of her career. And immediately Nat Medhurst makes her presence felt. Gets Maddie Robinson into perfect feeding position with a really clever little bounce pass, and the Diamonds are off.
Advantage obstruction, though, shooter.
Those feeds from Robinson are just spot on.
Oh, Branley keeps it in. Great hunger there from the Diamonds. 12 goals ahead, and they're still putting it out there. Harrison can't believe it. Really good commitment there. And a good lesson, you never assume the ball's dead until the umpire says so. Yeah, Rasmussen had stopped. Well done, Watson. Good strong take, two hands. There's no doubt as two is going to come up with possession.
Great rebound. That is a terrific offensive rebound from Mez.
Just feel like with Laura Langman in the middle, the Silver Ferns just have lifted their intensity level in the last few minutes. She's got a sense of urgency about her. She wants to drag them back into the match.
Advantage contact, quick defence.
Rasmussen throwing it away.
There is, of course, a difference between dragging yourself into a match and taking risks with the ball. I thought she'd looked away too soon, and somehow she got that ball through.
Great vision.
Yeah. Just about parted Charlie Layton's hair. Speaking of vision, down the other end, Medhurst.
It's opening up a little bit. Players are tiring.
Advantage obstruction, goal attack. New Zealand. Yep. Advantage contact.
the difference is Nat Medhurst. She just opens up that end so beautifully. Brings the ball down. Brings Caitlin Bassett into the game even more if that's possible. Now sitting at 45 from 45. Extraordinary performance from her. And it is interesting, Kel, thinking about the changes that might get made. And what Lisa Alexander has to think about is whether she asks Caitlin Bassett to finish the game off. Sometimes when you're in this sort of touch, shooting 45 goals at 100% for 3 quarters, you don't want to wreck that. You don't want to, you want to often let the player play it out, play the full 60 minutes and just give her the challenge. All right, you've done so beautifully, but now you've got to push home harder, aim for a negative split in that last quarter. Or do you bring Caitlin Bassett in and only make that change with her to let her really experience the ball coming down the court at speed, which is what Maddie Robinson and Nat Medhurst are doing. If I was Lisa Alexander, I'd probably bring Katie Thwaites on and let her have the experience with the ball at speed. Oh, Leighton.
Starting to get right on top now, Leighton.
Probably fair to say that the Sydney crowd have forgiven her from leaving the Swifts and going to Collingwood.
Well, when they were introduced, she did get the biggest roar by far. And Bassett has got a hot hand. She is in the zone this afternoon. 47 from 47.
She's doing so well that Watson's had to sit right back at her. So I got the impression just after half-time that Watson and Grant had decided to go and have a fly for everything. But Watson's had to come right back on her. So you can see those little lollipop passes going into Maddie Robinson with a bit of height. You'd probably like to see the Silver Ferns defenders going for them, but they're too scared to leave Caitlin Bassett at home under the post.
Goalkeeper, both out players. Goal defence, you're still out play.
So counting down to 3/4 time. They have owned this term, the Diamonds. On the back of Caitlin Bassett's 47 goals at 100%. They take a 16-goal lead into 3/4 time. It's 54 to the Silver Ferns 38.
Obstruction centre. Vantage obstruction, wing attack. Vantage obstruction, goal attack.
Beautiful lean over the ball there from Branley. She did all the work, but Mez pilfered the rebounds. And it's one of the strengths of Bailey Mez in a goal shooter. Has a fantastic vertical leap. Best thing Gina Crampton can do at the moment is just go and get the ball when you're nervous. Her heart would be pounding. This is a massive moment for her. They've played a very solid, consistent brand of netball. And that doesn't sound like much, but that is hard to do. But I reckon that's one of the areas they've been really good in, chasing down loose ball. And that's one of the few that they haven't got back. And Maddie Robinson shakes her head. That gives an indication just how much each ball means to the Diamonds. They're chasing hard. They're chasing like they're clinging onto a 1-goal lead, not enjoying a 13-goal buffer.
Well, I wonder whether they know too much about the records, Liz, because in the final 4 minutes, they could smash an important record. Australia's highest ever score against New Zealand was 68 goals 4 years ago. When you consider that these two teams have been playing for over 70 years, and they could well smash that record here in the final few minutes in Sydney.
I don't know they'd have that in their heads. What they do have in their heads, I suspect, is the fact that they've got a coach who's picking on training form, and they've got a coach who's going to pick on what she sees in the game. They've got 3 more test matches. I get the impression that Lisa Alexander has said to them all, positions are up for grabs, you got to earn it. So no one is able to coast. Everyone has to get out there and prove what they can do in every match.
excited.
That's
to
what
play
you
it.
want. You want competition within your lineup.
Yep. Contact.
Gabby Simpson has to be in consideration, in contention for the MVP.
Thank you.
Several Australian players have stood out in this match. Beautiful play, Nat Medhurst. Just has the ball on a string. And I think she's enjoying the outing with Caitlin Thwaites. Thwaites is a different player to Bassett. A little more on the move, and it just means that the feeders can have a little bit of variety in the pass that they're putting in, and they'll enjoy it.
So this is the first of the Constellation Cup matches. Game 2 in Launceston on Wednesday night before these two teams head back over the Tasman for the final two. Selby Rickett coming on at half-time and impressing. And Australia has equalled its highest ever score against New Zealand. Unrelenting. The Diamonds draw first blood in the Constellation Cup. Final score 68 to 56.